Welcome back, guys. Sorry it's been so long. I've been very busy recently, but don't worry, I have plenty of videos lined up and ready to come out very soon. So, today we'll be going into the next three killers of Dead by Daylight: the Hag, the Nurse, and the Shape. So, sit back, relax, grab a drink, maybe a little snacks, and let's get right into it. Sally Smithson's story begins with dreams of domestic bliss in a small town, far from the horrors that would define her. Her bio reveals that she came with visions of children's feet and laughter in a wooden home built by her husband Andrew. Andrew, a lumberjack, provided for her, but life brought destruction, not joy. The bio states Andrew's foreman had to pay Sally a visit, forever changing her life. Left alone without food or options, Sally sought work at Crotus Print Asylum, a place no one chose unless desperate. The narrative adds, nobody sought employment there unless they were in dire need, just like Sally. Starting at the bottom with the night shift, she faced the uneducated's fate, enduring abuse from patients and staff alike. Over 2 decades, Sally's mind frayed under the weight of horrors. Her mind had reached its limits. 2 decades of seeing horrid things that violate the eyes. Memories replayed nightly, of verbal and physical abuse from those without limits. The narrative reveals her breaking point, interacting with patients like the anxious girl, the broken woman, the bad man, and the ranted son. Braiding the anxious girl's hair, Sally offered sympathy, suggesting the community's room window view of robins. But the broken woman's philosophy poisoned her. If we want humanity to survive, we must be its custodians. Advocating purification of genetic abominations, Sally resisted, but the narrative shows her unraveling, slapping the girl over lice, laughing to stifle screams after a violent incident. The asylum's chaos consumes Sally. The narrative describes endless hallways, the concerto of lunatics, of moans and shrieks, patients like the catatonic boy staring through the walls. The foul girl vomiting and the shoeless imbecile pulling teeth assaulted her senses. The sickness can grow no more, she realized. Accepting her confinement by the insane, the broken woman's words echoed. I could tell you the ingredients for my special injection. A quick little prick, and they'll writhe as if a purifying fire burns within. Sally prepared the syringe, its thick, dark liquid, a void of stars feeling calm as she floated toward her task. Sally's purification began with the broken woman. The narrative reveals she saw the woman's mismatched eyes as impurity, injecting her to cleanse the filth. But Sally didn't stop. The bio states one day in September, they found over 50 dead patients, lifeless in their beds, along 4 staff members, also dead. Some were choked, marks around their necks, but Sally survived, her mind gone, rocking nonstop. The narrative shows her dream of Andrew by a lake, lilies blooming only for trees to crash, his skull splitting, brain spilling. We would have had beautiful babies, he whispered, as Sally decayed, her grip on him turning to dust. Awakening, she knew her actions were necessary. a mercy for the weak. The entity claimed Sally, forging her into the nurse. They got her into an ambulance, but that ambulance never reached the hospital. It was found crashed in a nearby woods. All the staff dead and Sally nowhere to be found. Benedict Baker notes, "A new varmint has entered the arena, clad in bandages that tell an untold tale of something horrid. She moves through walls, bringing a new angst during my lonely nights. Her strangled breath and floating form make her a spectral killer. Her syringe now a tool of the entity's trials." Sally Smithson's tragedy is a descent into madness. Dreaming of children's laughter, she lost Andrew to a lumber accident, forcing her into Crotus Prin's night shift. Her mind reached its limits, concepts of purification emerged. Endless hallways, the concerto of lunatics, pushed her to cleanse the infection. Tome 1 calls her a nurse whose bandages hides horrors. In the fog, she floats, her breath of strangled mercy, purifying survivors with a prick that burns like fire. Beneath her bandages, a woman who sought life now deals death, forever bound to the entity's asylum of torment. Michael Myers' tale begins with a birth that bellied his nature. Born on October 19, 1957, in Haddonfield, Illinois, he grew up at 45 Lambkin Lane with his older sister, Judith, and younger sister. The lore describes him as a bad seed infused with a distilled and pure form of evil. By 1963, at age 6, he suffered nightmares of a Celtic boy named Edna, murdering his love during Samhain, later Halloween. A voice in his head compelled him to act, whispering, "I hate people." Dr. Sam Loomis, his future psychiatrist, recalled, "I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face, and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Loomis saw no reason, conscience, or understanding of good or evil, only a force he deemed purely and simply evil." On October 31st, 1963, Michael's evil took form. While his parents were away, Judith babysat him and focused on her boyfriend Danny. Dressed in a clown costume, Michael took a kitchen knife, climbed the stairs, and stabbed Judith to death. The lore notes, as he took his sister's life, the police found a silent boy dressed as a clown at the scene. He waited calmly for arrest, his blank expression a chilling omen. Committed to Smith's Grove Sanitarium, Michael spent 15 years in catatonic silence. Loomis observed, "He's covering up. This catatonia is a conscious act. There's an instinctive force within him. He's waiting." For 8 years, Loomis tried to reach him. For 7, he fought to keep him locked away, recognizing the depth of his evil. On October 30th, 1978, at age 21, Michael escaped. He destroyed his room and carved "Sister" on his door and released patients to sow chaos. Murdering the ambulance crew transferring him, including nurse Marion Chambers, he stole their station wagon, driving to Haddonfield. He killed a truck driver for a boiler suit, then gathered a kitchen knife, rope, a Halloween mask, and Judith's gravestone. Loomis, tracking him, warned Sheriff Leigh Brackett of the threat. That Halloween night, Michael's rampage targeted Lord Strode, his younger sister. He stalked her and her friends Annie and Linda from the shadows. He strangled Annie in her car, slitting her throat, then murdered Linda and her boyfriend Bob. Lori, finding their bodies under Judith's gravestone, was attacked, her arm slashed. She stabbed him with a wire hanger and his knife, but he rose. Loomis arrived, shooting Michael 6 times, sending him off a balcony. But when Loomis checked, Michael had vanished. a moment of supernatural resilience. The lore suggests this is when the entity intervened. According to the Dead by Daylight official timeline, Michael's escaped from the death after Loomis shots marked his transition. Baker wrote, "Someone is here now. I've never seen this shape before. A man hiding behind a mask. He comes with determination, but worrying. He comes with an apparent grasp of the hunt. He does not strike me as someone who even went unwilling into this place." The official Dead by Daylight Halloween chapter release notes confirm that Michael, after surviving the 1978 fall, was claimed by the entity. Unlike others dragged into the fog against their will, Michael's evil aligned with its hunger. His disappearance after the balcony fall interpreted as the entity's grasp, pulling him into the realm following Laurie's escape. In the fog, Michael became the Shape, a killer with superhuman strength, stealth, endurance, and durability of an unknown limit. He lifts tombstones, penetrates skulls with his thumb, and survives gunshots and stabbing, possibly with a healing factor. Lisa Sherwood grew up in a secluded village, isolated from the modern world, where kindness reigned and elders preserved old traditions. The lore described her as fond of the charms they taught her for safety and good fortune, symbols etched with care. One night, a sudden storm struck as she walked home through the woods. Rain lashed at her in the swamp's slick mud. She fell, striking her head on a rock, slipping in and out of consciousness. She glimpsed dark shapes approaching, her last memory before oblivion. Kidnapped, Lisa was chained in a flooded cellar, surrounded by others with wounds swirling with flies. Her kidnappers returned, carving chunks from the prisoners' bodies with rusted blades, consuming their very flesh down to the bone. Most didn't survive, but Lisa persisted, starved and infected. After weeks, her gaunt arms slipped from their shackles, metal tearing through skin and muscle. Her flesh oozed yellow pus, bones visible beneath gangrenous wounds. Delirious, she etched the Elder's symbols into the floor with her mangled fingers. A dark hunger stirred within her, yearning for blood. In that moment, she swore vengeance. The village search party found an old shack, its inhabitants dismembered and devoured by an unidentifiable beast. In the cellar, amid rotting corpses, the Elder's charms were scrawled in blood. Lisa's body was absent and never found. The narrative adds a glimpse of her past, scolded by her grandmother for sketching a symbol into her textbook, warned of misfortune from powers misunderstood. Lisa dismissed it as superstition, joking about witches and cannibals, yet her grandmother's tale of turning a cannibal into a twisted swamp tree lingered, a foreshadowing of her fate. Lisa's life unraveled further with her friend Pam. Her math scores improved after using the symbols, a placebo or power she couldn't grasp. Pam, mocking the idea, copied the symbols, even carving one into her arm with a toothpick. The narrative notes Lisa's unease. "You shouldn't mess with powers you don't understand." Pam laughed, joking about a woman crushed by a truck, her blood staining the pavement. Lisa recoiled, fearing vengeful spirits, a belief her grandmother instilled. Pam's hubris grew when her overweight English teacher died.
Hey.
She danced with joy, Her hand covered in ink smudged symbols at his funeral. She mocked the pallbearer's struggle, prompting Lisa to distance herself, sensing danger. An image of lightning striking Pam flashed in her mind, her grandmother's voice warning of fate's wrath for laughing at the dead. Though skeptical, Lisa edged away, the darkening clouds mirroring her dread. The hag's transformation began in that cellar, the bio states. With her dying breath, she etched symbols. A dark hunger stirred inside her. An oath, she chose vengeance. Her emaciated body, twisted by torture, birthed a grotesque arm capable of slashing flesh and bone. Benedict Baker's journal notes, "A new terror stalks the darkness. Her appearance strikes me as more intense than the others. Twisted and torn in unspeakable ways, with grayish dead skin stretched over her emaciated body. Her presence spoke of endless torture, raising questions. Did she refuse the entity's calling until broken, or did she wish for this? The entity claimed Lisa after her escape and vengeance. The Dead by Daylight Chapter 5, Lullaby for the Dark release notes confirm her disappearance from the swamp led to her summoning. Unlike others, her hope of vengeance aligned with the entity's hunger, pulling her into the fog as the hag. Her perks, Hex the Third Seal, Hex Devour Hope, and Hex Ruin, reflect her torment. The Third Seal blinds survivors. Devour Hope empowers her with a Mori after multiple hooks, and Ruin regresses generators, mirroring her broken spirit. Lisa Sherwood's tragedy is a journey from innocence to horror. Raised with charms in a peaceful village, she fell to cannibals, her body mutilated beyond recognition. The village was never the same again. Her grandmother's warnings proved prophetic as Pam's mockery and her own torment filled a dark pact. Tome 1 calls her a terror of endless torture, her claw a weapon of vengeance. In the fog, she stalks, her symbols a reminder of lost hope and hunger, eternal, under the entity's sway. Thank you guys so much for watching part 2 of the Dead by Daylight lore video. And I'm sorry for the lack of uploads over the last month, but I've just had a lot of stuff to do, been really busy. But we're back, and I will be uploading every Tuesday and Thursday from here on out. So one video could be another Dead by Daylight lore, and then one could be true crime, doesn't matter. Just 2 uploads a week, every week. And then in the middle of those, while there's no long-term content coming out between, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all that, those will be days where I upload shorts. So you can expect a lot of those clips that I haven't posted before, funny content, scary content, doesn't matter. But thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one.